Okay, just as an alternative, if you, on the next page, if you would rather continue on with a similar method as you have used in the past, another line of credit, then we would need to increase the size of the line of credit. Really the key here is that we expect the interest rates for a short-term instrument like a line of credit to increase just much faster than the longer-term rates. So that makes it harder to budget, right, to know what the actual costs are going to be because it's going to fluctuate. And we calculated a scenario where you are going to use another line of credit for this next year and then take it out in 2019. We basically take on some interest rate risk, assuming that in 2019 you're able to close the long-term takeout. We basically suggest that if you waited and take it out in a year from now, that if rates rise by more than 0.3%, that you would have been better off locking in the rates now. So you kind of benefit from the lower short-term rates on the line of credit if rates stay as they are at the low end. But if rates increase by more than 0.3% for the longer-term 30-year bond, then you would have been better off locking in rates today.
Once we issue those bonds, how long do we have before we have to have spent it?
3 years.
Go ahead.
I'm happy to answer that question. The tax code requires that at the time of issuance of 10% debt, there's a reasonable expectation that at least 85% of the bond proceeds will be spent within 3 years. We like to round that up to say all of it within 3 years. Just because it just works, sounds better that way. But from a legal perspective, we need to have two things. One is a binding contract within 6 months of issuance to spend at least 5% of the debt, which 5% is already spent. Yeah, it's already done. So check that box, and then basically 3 years to spend the rest.
Thank you.
We were asked to talk briefly about methods of a bond sale. I'm going to do it very brief. So if you were to issue long-term bonds, you can decide to work directly with a bank. So you're selecting a bank typically through an RFP process to see who's the bank to work with. They would be the so-called underwriter. That bank would work together with your finance team here and legal team to think about the best bond structuring, and then they would go out and market the bonds to investors. Pretty much, it's something that we would recommend in situations where you have an unusual credit, where you have a story to tell. Since we're talking about utilities, I like to use the example: if you were in the desert but you have a lake next to you, you look better than most other water agencies without the lake next to you, right? So you want to tell that story to investors, right? But if there's any sort of complexity to the structure, or in a case where you have an extremely volatile bond market, and then you would want to also work with it. In this case, of the city, you have actually a relatively strong rating. It's AA-, so it's in one of the higher rating categories. And one other option to do it is through a competitive sale process. It works kind of like an auction process. Your city and legal and finance team will work together to develop an offering document, and then on the day of sale, underwriters will be able to look at the bond structure, bonds, and basically bid on it. It's like almost like eBay, right? So you basically say, whoever gives you the best interest rates, the lowest interest rate, is going to win the bid.
Negotiated sale is what we've typically done here.
Yes, sir.
But you seem to be recommending competitive sale.